Hello and welcome to another Japan Camera Hunter Camera Geekery with me, your host with the least hair that is, it's Japan Camera Hunter. Now today I'm in a secret location. Again, this time I'm not in Tokyo, had to get in the car, go a fair way out. I have come to a place and they have let me see some really special cameras and lenses that I want to share with you. Be warned, I'm probably going to say fantastic and cool and get really excited like 100 times, so just bear with me on this. If you like this kind of video, please make sure you like and subscribe as well. I really appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get on and have a look at some of these amazing cameras that I'm staring at right now. First of all, well, I've put my gloves on because, as some of you mentioned in the comments last time, I shouldn't be touching these lovely things without pairs of gloves on. So I listen, of course I listen. And I've put some gloves on. I have got something cool, something special. I'm going to say special a lot, so be warned on that. This, you know what this is? This is an original Canon 7 black paint. But what makes this special is because it's not just the Canon black paint. There's lots of these. Well, I say lots, there's lots of copies of these that have been painted black. This is an original black paint, which has been verified as original. This also comes with the black paint lens, the 50 1.2. Not a great lens, it's pretty soft actually, it's kind of a soap bubble, but that's not the point. The point is that this actually matches with this camera. Very rare, very hard to find. This camera was basically the end of the line, apart from the 7S and the 7 SE, the end of the line for the Canon rangefinders before they moved over to SLRs and became a much, much bigger company than they were at the time. And these started off with a camera that I will show you later, which I'm really excited about, which is a Hansa Canon. And I've done a video on that before, which you can see. I will share with you. You'll find it in the links or something. This was interesting because this was one of the Canon rangefinders that came with a built-in light meter. So this is the previous Canon rangefinders did not have built-in light meters. This one did. A very cool camera. It's nice to see one in black paint, and it's really nice to see one with the matching lens. I'm quite excited just by holding this. I would like to hope that somebody who does buy this camera, because this and all of the ones you see are for sale, would actually use this, because this is a camera that does deserve to be used. It's gorgeous, it's practical, it's really solid, and it feels fantastic. And what I like about the Canon as well, the Canon 7, is you have the selectable frame lines on the top there. So it's not selected like the Leica where you put the lens on. No, you have a little dial on the top and you can select your frame lines there. Very cool camera, very excited to see this one. So I hope you like this one. I hope you buy it too if you want to buy it. It would be cool if you did. And yeah, on to the next one. Now, we saw the Canon, the black paint. That was very cool. I've got something that's a different paint now. This is, well, I'd call it the Kermit. It's not really a Kermit. Kermit the Frog, but it's not. This is really cool. This is a gold and green Leica M6 TTL that has been repainted by Canto Camera. Our friends, the wonderful Canto Camera, who've done so many great cameras for me. They have done this camera, a special edition. Now this one doesn't have a light meter. They've taken the light meter out on this. So this is without a meter, and it is a very funky and interesting and different looking camera. It's got a 28mm, it's got the 28mm Elmerit on it, and that is in gold, and it's got matching gold accents, including the Leica logo in gold. So if gold is your thing, and you want to have a real conversation piece, I mean, we all know what the Leica M6 is and the TTL is, but if you want to have a real conversation piece of a camera, this is probably going to be the one for you, especially with its ostrich leather as well, so feeling kind of bougie, yeah. Yeah, so if you want this one, and if you're into that sort of thing. Oh, and what makes this interesting as well, which I've just noticed, I didn't notice this before, this is a 0.58 finder. Yeah, so if you're like me, and you wear glasses, and you want to see the whole frame, this is the camera for you, because you don't see many of the 0.58 finders. So yeah, come and check this one out, and yeah, maybe it's for you. Okay, we're going on a theme here. We're still sticking with rangefinders, as you do, because rangefinders do tend to be the rarest and collectible ones. But this one is kind of cool because you don't see these very often. Again, it's a Leica, probably going to say special and fantastic. You know, bear with me. This, this is a like new with the box, and you can guess what it is. It's an M3. Yeah, this camera, I've not seen one of these for a very, very long time. This is basically an unused Leica M3 with the box, and I do mean unused. There is not a mark on this thing. This is a time capsule. I swear this camera has been sitting, I can't open it with the gloves on. I'm not going to open it. This camera has been sitting in a very safe spot for a very long time. The finder is a bit foggy because it's been sitting in a safe spot for a long time. So that would probably need cleaning, but that doesn't matter because what you're getting here is a camera. Wow, it's still so smooth. A camera that has been unused. This is magical. You don't see these very often. You almost never see these, in fact. You only see them on Westlicht auction and things like that. So this is really cool. If you want to get yourself a completely unused, not even a mark on the shutter curtain, nothing. If you want to get a completely unused Leica M3, hit me up. I can make it happen because I know where it is. So yeah, come and check this out. I think this is amazing. Right, so we've been through a few rangefinder bodies. We've seen some very cool cameras. Now I'm going to show you a lens. Now, in the last video that I did, the other one at the secret location, I got to show you some really, really special, rare lenses. And amongst them was one of my favorite rare lenses, but a very special one, which was the Nikkor 5cm 1.1. And that one was S-mount. Now, S-mount you see, there is quite a few of them around. What you don't see is what I have here. This is the L mount, so the Leica screw mount. Now only 200 of these were produced, and I quite happen to have one here. This is the Leica screw mount. Yeah, the Leica screw mount Nikkor, and I have to say, wow. Oh, and somebody's probably going to tell me off for breathing on it like they did last time. But the fact of the matter is, I'm here with it, and it is amazing. Now, I have seen one of these or two of these in the past in this job, but I have never seen one in this condition. This is flawless. There's no yellow river. Now, one thing that happens with this lens, which is quite common, and I'm actually a little bit nervous because I'm holding it with gloves and that freaks me out because it feels slippery. But usually, or often you see on this particular lens, what we call the yellow river, where the balsam, the Canada balsam, has separated between the lenses and it creates little rivulets, little lines between the lenses. And this has absolutely nothing. It is perfect. But not just this, it gets even better because yes, look at that. It has the original bakelite. This isn't the metal, this is the bakelite hood. The Nippon Kogaku Japan 5cm 1.1 bakelite hood. I cannot express how rare this is to find something like this. It blows my mind. This is the lens that dreams are made of, and I really hope that somebody does buy this and actually shoots with it, takes pictures with it. It deserves to be used. This thing is stunning. I'm beside myself. I cannot see a mark on it, and I've seen a few of these lenses and they've all been used, and this one is flawless. So yes, you should definitely check this out. I'm losing my words at how cool this is. Such an incredible lens. I hope you enjoy it. So I've just kind of lost my shit and got really excited because of the last lens that I saw, which blew me away. And now I've got something else which is really exciting, and I'm probably going to get really carried away as well. Can't help it. It's what I do. and I love what I do. I am so lucky to do what I do. I've made a video on this camera before, and I mentioned this earlier in this video, and this is a camera which some of you are probably familiar with. This is the Seiki-Kogaku, the Canon Seiki-Kogaku, which is a relative of the Hansa Canon, which is the very earliest of the Canon rangefinders. Now, this is a Seiki-Kogaku, so it's a little bit later than the Hansa. The Hansa was the very beginning, the foundation of what Canon did for rangefinders. Back when they were a tiny company with only 12 to 15 employees, they were making 10 cameras a month. The camera cost 280 yen as opposed to a Leica, which was 420 yen at the time. And they won, Yoshida-san, the guy who was the original founder and designer of the Hansa Canons, wanted a camera that he could use which didn't cost the earth, and he got his hands on a Leica back then in the 1950s and took it apart and wondered why it wasn't made from diamonds, because it was so expensive. So he came out with the Hansa Canons, which later became Seiki, and then later, which I showed you with the Canon 7, there was a whole family tree, and Canon had a family tree of rangefinders, whereas Nikon kept it really simple with the S series 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the earlier S and the M. Canon made so many variants that some of them there's only 15 or 20 of them made because they probably ran out of parts or just built them from whatever was lying around in the factory. So each one of these Hansas and Seikis are kind of subtly different, and but that's what makes them cool and interesting. They also have something cool and interesting. Cha-ching! Yes, that's a pop-up finder. How cool is that? Earlier ones had a notch on the side, and so you can tell which is an earlier model by the notch next to the pop-up finder. This one is in gorgeous condition, and it does have, which is cool, the Nippon Kogaku, the Nikkor, the 5cm 2.8. This was based off an Elmar. This was, from what I understand, very similar to the Elmar. This was, again, back when Canon was a tiny company. They did not have a lens foundry. They couldn't make their own lenses. So they had to rely on an established lens maker, and those guys, the biggest at the time, were Nikon. And that's why you have a Nikon lens on a Canon body, which you don't see nowadays. Yes, this is a very cool piece of camera history, and it's also a working camera. So it's kind of cool that I can even see one of these and actually fire one of these. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Right, now, yes, we saw that Seiki. That was pretty cool. This is something that, well, it's not actually the camera that inspired the Seiki or the Hansa, but it's a relative of that camera. Though this one's had a rather unfortunate smelting accident. Yes, I love gold. This is a golden 3, and this is, yeah, different. I thought I'd show this. It's not a special camera. It's, you know, in terms of, yes, it's a Leica, Barnack Leica. Okay, very cool. Lots of Barnack Leicas, tons and tons of Barnack Leicas, but it's not often that you actually see a genuine, and this is genuine. This is not a you know, remodel. This is a gold with a gold lens. This has got the gold Elmar on it, which is actually a fantastic lens. The Elmar 3.5 is wonderful. And it's got lizard skin. So if you live in Australia, sorry, you can't have this. Yeah, we can't ship this anywhere in Australia or somewhere like that because of the rules about biodiversity and things like that, but it is a very cool camera. And if you're into gold, you like to bling, you like to show off, maybe this is the camera for you. And it does work. This isn't just a toy or a showpiece. This is a camera that you can actually use. So yeah, if you've got yourself a bit of a gold finger going on, perhaps this is the camera for you. I've done some wild cameras, and I think it's about time I did another wild lens. Interesting that the last lens we did was Nikon, and so is this one. This one is very special. This one's close to my heart because this is a lens that I used to source, and I actually sourced quite a few of them in the old days. You used to be able to find them actually fairly regularly in Tokyo, which you cannot anymore. This, and I know that some of you know what this is, This is the remarkable Nikon UV Nikkor 105 4.5. Now, the 105 4.5, it's irrelevant. What this is a UV Nikkor lens, and this one comes with the box and all of the bits and the papers and the gelatin filter holder. Yes, oh my God. Now, this lens is special because it was used for a very special purpose. This isn't your average 105 lens. You're not going to use this for a portrait. You're not going to use this for just taking photos of birds. No, I mean, you probably could, but you get some weird pictures because this has a special resolving power, a UV resolving power. So this lens was used for autopsies and crime scenes and places where they needed to show. Not just that, they had other scientific applications, but it was mainly used in medical situations because UV resolving power can pick up blood and hemoglobin and things like this. So that's what makes this a very special lens. This has now become a very interesting lens for collectors because obviously there are new lenses, more modern lenses. Actually, Nikon now makes a newer version of this which is sold to governments and police forces around the world. But this was the original one. So this is a really cool piece of Nikon and Nikkor history. My mentor, who taught me everything I know about doing what I do, said that this was one of his favorite lenses of all time, and he would gush about this lens and become quite exuberant about this lens when he talked about it. So to me, this has a special place in my heart. And I do hope that somebody wants to have this because I think it would be a really, really good addition to anybody's Nikon collection. Now then, boys and girls, I would like to read you a story. The story of the camera that could. Once upon a time, there was a Minolta TC-1. Yes, this is the Minolta TC-1, but this isn't any old Minolta TC-1. That's right. This one comes in a spiffy case that looks like a book, so I can read you a bedtime story. This is the Minolta TC-1, and this is the limited edition version, which came in black with gold trim, no less. Now, it makes it a bit more expensive, but it does look really, really cool in black. And not only that, this itself, the Minolta TC-1, was pretty much the pinnacle of what could be done in terms of miniature size 35mm point and shoot cameras. This camera is remarkable for what it has. Not only does it have a ton of features, you know, ISO, variable ISO, timer, flash, you can, you know, autofocus, manual focus, you can override lots and lots of stuff on it, exposure compensation. You can even change the diopter in the viewfinder, which is admittedly tiny. It does have a light up screen, but what it has, which is really cool, is this. This is the 28mm 3.5G Rockor lens, which is a double aspherical. Why anybody would put a double aspherical lens into a compact camera is just, it's just because we can. It's nuts. It's so much lens for this camera. It's absolutely bonkers. And it has a perfectly circular aperture, which is selectable by this little switch on the top there, which is massively cool. Now, this lens was good enough, so good in fact, that Minolta actually ended up making a separate standalone lens from this lens, which you could buy in Leica screw mount, which was a special edition as well, for your Leica cameras, which is a very popular lens, a beautiful lens. I think that this camera, in terms of compact cameras, has probably one of the best lenses of all of the compact cameras. It is just such a beautiful lens, and it looks fantastic in this little package, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. So if you want yourself a really, really cool, really capable black TC-1, you know who to call. We saw the black TC-1. Now I've got something very different for you. This is a piece of Japanese camera history. Now I had to do a bit of research on this because I've not seen one of these before. I've not held one of these before. This is entirely new to me. Now this is the Gokoku #1 RKK, and it comes with a Gokoku and a stigmat lens. This is a camera that was manufactured in the 1930s, about 1936, I believe, though I could be wrong on that. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Back then, Japan was struggling. There were certain sanctions and things like that going on. So film was at a premium. It was hard to get. It was expensive. As such, the 1:7 format became quite popular in Japan because you could get more for your money with the film. So this is a 1:7. It's not a 135 like the Canon rangefinders. This is a 1:7, though it is still a rangefinder style camera. And I say rangefinder style because it's not actually a rangefinder. This is a rangefinder looking like camera, which doesn't actually have a connected rangefinder in there. So a very interesting piece of camera history. Now this one, interestingly enough, it comes with the 50mm 3.5 and a stigmatic lens. This one has actually been serviced by the lovely people, my friends at Canto Cameras. So this is, believe it or not, a working camera, which makes it very cool. You don't see something like that for what is getting close to 100 years old. This is a 90-ish year old camera, looking pretty good for 90, I might add. Yeah, I hope I look this good at 90. I probably won't even be around at 90, but there you go. So if you want a genuine piece of Japanese camera history, this probably is the camera for you. Okay, I hope all of these cameras have tantalized you and been exciting. I've got one more left. It's kind of funny that it's connected to the last camera, the Gokoku, that was on here, because this is a modern interpretation of a camera, and I'm sure some of you have seen this before. It comes with this lovely little photo album. This is the Minolta Prod. The Minolta Prod. Now, some camera companies like Olympus and Minolta decided that they wanted to do things a bit differently. Konica was one of them too. In 1990s, sort of early 1990s, Minolta just went out on a limb and said, we're going to make the wildest camera that we possibly can, and we're going to base it on something from the 1920s. So very similar style to the Gokoku, except this is a modern camera. This is a modern, and it's not a rangefinder. Again, it looks like a rangefinder. This is actually a compact camera, 35mm. It's got a 35 4.5 lens, so very similar to the older cameras, but it's got this Art Deco look, and it even comes in this Art Deco style box. And it's called the Prod 20s because it was fashioned on the Art Deco style. Now, this isn't the most capable of cameras. I think the top speed is like 1/150th or something like that. So on a bright day, you're pretty much screwed. But yeah, if you want to have a conversation starter and you want to be a bit, you know, a bit bohemian and Art Deco-y, then maybe this is the camera for you. I know that one of my clients bought one of these recently and he's pretty happy with it. So who knows, maybe it suits you. Yes, this is the Prod. So that's it. I hope you saw some cameras and lenses that you like. I know I did. I got carried away, I got excited, and I probably waffled on and got visibly nervous and sweaty, but that's what I do because I love what I do. So if you like what I do, if you like these videos, please make sure you like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your comments as well about what you think about some of these cameras and lenses. If you're interested in buying any of them, you know you can buy them from me because that's what I do. All of these are actually for sale, and most of them are actually for sale on my website as well. So make sure you come and check out japancamera.hunter.com. As always, keep on shooting film, be cool to one another, and I'll see you again soon. Japan Camera Hunter, out.